Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things. And today I am giving you my May wrap-up. May has been a good month. It's been a good month. I feel like I'm finally becoming a person again after having a baby. I'm figuring out my reading routine and schedule. I'm giving myself a lot of grace. Trying not to push too hard. Like, if a book is not hitting, then we just don't read it. We come back to it later. I'm trying to be mindful of those things. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the stats. Let's get that rundown going, because yeah, I don't want this video to take too long. I got shit to do. If I'm being really frank, I have stuff I need to do. Okay, so in May I read a total of 26 books. For pages read, that was 3,931, and for audio hours listened, that was 148 hours and 57 minutes, which as days is 6 days, 4 hours and 57 minutes. My average page per day was 126.1. My average hours was 6 hours, 41 minutes, and 12 seconds, and my average rating was a 3.5. I had some really incredible books this month, and then some also very shitty books this month. I think I have the same amount of top books as I do bottom books, which is very rare. So yeah. I purchased no books, which cost me no money. I checked out 14 library books, which saved me $329.45. And I reread 4 books. The format of the books I read, 15 of them were audiobooks and 11 of them were ebooks. None of them were physical. For intended audiences, 24 of them were adult and 2 of them were young adult. That's crazy if you think about where it came from, where I was just mostly reading young adult, and now I have transitioned into just predominantly reading adult. Wild times at Richmond High. Is that how that phrase goes? Why do I know that quote? Anyway, for genres, which this will show up in the book blanket. I'm still working on sewing all of these onto the book blanket as we speak. However, we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. I read 3 sci-fi, 8 fantasy, 1 romance, 1 historical, 2 thriller, 7 horror, no classics, and 4 nonfiction books. Like I said, I believe last month, I am not pushing myself to read one of every genre this year. As nice as that was last year, it's just not sustainable for me right now. I don't know what contemporary books are out there. I don't know what contemporary books are worth reading, and frankly, I don't like most of them. So I don't want to read them. So yeah. Let's talk about the top books that I read this month. Normally I'm maybe we'll do the bad books first. Let's talk about the top books I read this month. First we have Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson. This is a thriller novel where a podcaster has people come on her podcast and confess their crimes. Then someone comes on the podcast and says, "It was me, I killed your mommy." And she's like, "That's crazy," in her head. She's like, "That's crazy because I killed my mom's killer. So riddle me that." And then she's just psychologically tortured the whole book by this crazy person. I thought it was incredible. I had a really hard time putting it down. I just wanted to consume this book. I just wanted to know what was going on. I wanted to know did he actually do it? What does it mean? What's going on? I thought it was fantastic. I really liked this author. I actually put this book, this author has another thriller book that is referenced in this book. I put it on my TBR for June because I genuinely liked this book so much. I was like, I want to read more from this author. Hopefully it is also good. You never know, but hopefully it's also good. I super enjoyed it though. I thought it was well written and keep you on the edge of your seat, and then the ending made sense. Now there was a whole reference that made it seem like we tried to make some wiggle room for a sequel. Don't do that shit. There's no room for a sequel. We finished the book is finished. But other than that, I really enjoyed the book. Then we have The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. I did not expect to like this book so much as I did, especially going into it. I was like, I'm not having fun. What is happening? I'm not enjoying this. But then as we progressed through it, I was like, wait a minute, I'm genuinely enjoying this. We follow our main character, who is a archivist, a researcher, following this story of the Everlasting Saint Una, I think it was her name. and he feels like weirdly drawn to her, like she's saved his life even though she's been dead for hundreds of years, whatever. He gets this book, he gets summoned by a politician who's like, so you're gonna do this shit for me? And he's like, do what shit? And then she says, anyway, and stabs him, and then he goes back in time. And he meets Sir Una. That's what it was, Sir, not Saint. Meets Sir Una, IRL. Well, crazy, time travel, wild, time travel, alchemy, politics, love, magic, dragons. There you go. That's the summary without any spoilers. You're welcome. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an interesting conversation on like what makes a kingdom and what makes a queen and what makes a king and like what makes people feel patriotic and what brings people together for war and what doesn't, and what works and what doesn't, and how love can supersede all of it. Yeah, I thought it was incredibly well written. I thought the concept was very unique and enjoyable. I truly did not expect to enjoy the book as much as I did, actually. But by the time I finished it, I was just like, oh my heart, I enjoyed this so much, you know? Then we have Wife-Shaped Bodies by Laura Crane Hill. I picked this up on a whim. I had no intentions initially of reading this. I just kept seeing the cover and I was like, alright, I'm reading this, you know? I was like, okay, you twisted my arm. Mushroom Wives, Plague, Radioactivity, question mark? Mushroom Wives. Men are gross, kill them. That's your plot summary without me spoiling it. Right. Our main character is prepping for her wedding day. And you enter into this book with everything getting shaved off. This weird fungus is getting shaved off in preparation. And initially I was like, what am I reading? Is this some kind of weird poetry-esque book that's not gonna make any sense by the time I get done with it? Because I had the fear in me. But no, it starts to eventually make sense. Questions eventually get answered. It's a snack of a book. Highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. By the end, I was livid. I was angry. I was ready to fight someone. Not because of, like, the ending, but because of, like, men are awful and we should kill them. Just kidding, YouTube gods. Don't ban me. I'm joking. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Watch this video get flagged. I really enjoyed it. I will say, there is some parts of this that are like about pregnancy loss, and so like trigger warning for that, and also child loss, so trigger warning for that. I'm not spoiling anything, I'm just giving some trigger warning. I really, I don't always like to give trigger warnings for horror or thriller books because I think that it can spoil the book. No one come for me. I think it should be at the beginning of the book from the author, and then if you decide to read it, take a peek at that, carry on. I skip them. I skip them if they're there because depending on the genre. But me personally, I'm not the author. But I am giving that caveat because here's the thing. I'm now a mom. I know. Surprise. I know you guys didn't catch that after the many fucking times I keep talking about it. I'm now a mom. And so some of these topics hit harder. Get me hitting harder. I'm like, oh. Not triggering. Just in like, oh wow. I have bigger feelings about this than I used to. I've always had big feelings about like mothering. But now they're like, you know? Anyway, those are my top books. Let's talk about the bottom books. Right. I'm not looking forward to this one. These are mostly nonfiction books too, which is wild. First up we have, these are just in order of reading them, and one of them is like, it was bad, but like, not in the same way these other two were bad. First up we have On Our Best Behavior, sorry, by Elise Loehnen. God, she drones on. She drones on and on and on and on and on. I feel like she was trying to make a point to make herself feel better about herself. Conceptually, this book was really interesting because it would have been associating misogyny and the things that women have to go through with the 7 deadly sins. And that seemed like a really interesting topic, and that's why I was like, hell yeah, brother. But then as I was reading it, I was like, she just wants someone to tell her that she's doing a good job and that she's fine and that she's not fucking up. Which, like, mood, but, like, you didn't need to write a whole book about it. Also, she works for Pooh. That's not what it's called. That hipster, not hipster, that rich white lady website. Prune? Not right either. Poosh? No, that's one of the Kardashians. Goop. It was a weird word. I knew it. Goop. She's like vice president of Goop or something. So, like, also some of her statements about divine femininity. Femininity as a feeling as a whole. As someone who doesn't really identify with any of that, I hated it. The book was badly written. She drones on and on and on without making a point, and this should have stayed in the diary, baby. Shouldn't have been a book. Shouldn't have been a book. Next we have Miss Jekyll by Emma Glass. This is the one that, like, is not nearly as bad as the other ones. I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. It felt half finished. It's supposed to be sort of a retelling of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It didn't feel like that in any capacity. The way it was written, I just struggled with. We had no quotation marks either, and I hate that shit so bad. Yeah, the way it was written was a struggle for me. And I think if it had been written in a more consumable way for me, I would have enjoyed it more. But, unfortunately, I just did not enjoy it. It was bad. That's all I got. It was bad and I didn't enjoy it. And here we are. Like, I can't give you, like, it felt half finished. It felt unedited. It felt like a first draft. It felt like you just put some thoughts on paper and then published it. And I wish it had been better written, because conceptually it seemed great, much like Honor Best Behavior. Unfortunately, it just wasn't. And last but not least, we have Hags by Victoria Smith. This was my original. I recommended this book to my book club to read, having never read it. I generally recommend books I've read before. I've never read this book. Recommended this book. Thought, cool, it'll be great. Ozzy started reading it and sent me screenshots and was like, hey bestie, I don't know that we should read this, because it's transphobic. I brought it to the table. I brought it to the group. I said, hey, this book's transphobic. I personally am not comfortable with reading it for book club, but if everybody else wants to read it or whatever, go for it, but we might want to do a revote. We did a revote. We picked a different book, and that different book was better. It's Princess Diarist by Carrie Fisher. Much better book. Hags, I was like, I'm going to spite read it for content. I got through to the first chapter, which was over 25%, because the introduction is like 18% of the book. And she wants to fuck J.K. Rowling so bad, but she's just a straight white woman, so she's not going to, but she wants to, and you can tell. So I don't give a fuck about, but people are like, her arguments were so well worded. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Also, if you have to reference like 8 different external sources in like one paragraph, your argument is not good. You don't feel secure in your own argument. It read like someone that was called Karen one time and wrote a manifesto about it. Like a girl called her a Karen. Someone younger than me called her Karen, and her feelings were hurt so badly that she wrote a manifesto about it. And maybe that girl was a trans girl and she wrote a manifesto about it. That's how the book reads. The random digs at trans people in this book is crazy, because it has literally nothing to do with the concept of the book. It has nothing to do with whatever she's talking about. She just randomly will be like, yeah, anyway, fuck trans people. Like, she doesn't say that, but she's like, anyway, biologically born women only. Okay, relax. Relax. She makes this argument, too, that young women are prone to cut out older women just because of bigotry, and they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. Yeah, they should. I don't care that you're a woman. If you're a bigot, you're a bigot. It's not misogynistic for me to dislike a bigot of any gender. In fact, I would say that it would be misogynistic to be pro-bigotry as if it came from a woman. Like, that seems insane. But she makes this whole thing that's like, what young women shouldn't be mean to old women because it's misogynistic and bad and evil, and it's because young women are bad and evil and horrible and should die. Like, that's conflicting. Who are you talking to here? Who are you hoping to approach here? Angry Karens who are middle-aged? I don't know. Bestie. It's not for me. I didn't like it. I DNF'd it. One of the first DNFs that were like, morally, I hate this, and then the writing style is ass. So, here we are. But that's the wrap-up. That's it. May was a good month, like I said. I'm hoping June continues this trend of me, like, feeling like a reader again, and, like, actually using my brain and being able to talk to you about books. I'm hoping that it continues, but we will see how it goes. Postpartum is no joke, besties. You to think, me being 3 months, almost 4 months out, that I would stop using that excuse, but I'm gonna keep using it for like a year and a half, so get used to it. Scientifically, I get to. Anyway, that's it. That's the video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and leave a comment down below if you've read any of these books, if you have thoughts about these books. If you agree with the Hags lady, just go ahead and unsubscribe. Get on out of here. Get on out. Okay? Yeah, get out. I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, so I will see you later on this week. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you are having a wonderful, best day ever, or at least a good day. I think that's it, so I will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to take your meds, drink your water, do something today to take care of yourselves. Okay, thanks, bye!